So FluentCart released version 1.55 recently, and one of the key new update features in there is now how integrated it is with Bricks Builder. There's a ton of new elements that we can start leveraging in our designs to customize how FluentCart looks and operates inside our online stores. So in this video, I want to very quickly go over some of the options there, show you how easy it is to integrate it, and just kind of give you a heads up on how to start using it. And hopefully this will show you that FluentCart is actually becoming a real contender for a lot of users. So first things first, you do need to install and activate the Bricks add-on inside FluentCart. To do that, you simply come down into the features and add-ons in the settings section. Inside there, you'll see FluentCart Bricks Blocks. I currently have this active. Just simply install and activate. And once you've done that, we basically have what we need set up. So now let's jump into a page that I'm creating. You can see I've got a hero section at the top, just some basic layout just to kind of give us some content. And underneath we've got a blank section and container ready. So now if we come over and click on our elements and scroll to the bottom, you'll see we now have a lot more than we previously had inside the FluentCart settings. So your mini cart, add to cart, and so on. So there's various different parts to this. You've got the cart, obviously. You've got things like the account. You've got product categories. Then you've got individual component pieces to create your individual post template for products. You also have your archive and listings. There's various different sort of elements here you can use in various different parts of your designs and your templates. So we're going to take a look at a couple of them, but if you'd like a deeper dive into how to use this, do let me know in the comment section. Okay, so we've got this page in the container. So let's come down to the options, and inside there, let's choose the products. This is kind of your product loop. Let's add this in, choose it, and let's take a look at the options. So now you can see we've got our product loop inserted into our container. On the left-hand side, we can choose things like the number of columns, the gap that we're going to use. We can use our variables inside here. So we currently have this set to a gap 30 pixels. Well, let's open our variables up. Let's choose something like our spacing of medium. We'll start to use our variables. Change the value to the number of product. We'll set this to be 9, and we'll set our columns to be 3. So we have a bigger preview. So very simple, very sort of standard layout. All the options are there. We can choose whether this is the main query or not. So similar to what you have in various different parts of Bricks itself. If you have multiple queries on the page, you can choose which is the sort of main query. And then you can choose how you want to order these by price and so on, and how you order them, whether it's ascending or descending. So basic options there. Come into your query, and then you can customize what's displayed here. So if you're creating a custom page and you want to display specific items from a specific category, or exclude items and categories and so on, it can all be done here. So we've got product types, simple, physical, digital, and so on. Then you've got your include and excludes. So we can choose to include specific products, and we can choose to exclude them, and we can set up a default product category. So you can refine this. You can show only on sale products. You might have a block that's just showing products that are on sale. And if you want to show or hide out of stock products, if you are dealing with stock management, you can hide the ones that are no longer available if you want to. Then your fields, choose is exactly what's displayed inside any of these. You can see this uses the sort of the native way we work inside Bricks. So we can click on any of these. You can see what dynamic data is there. If we click the dynamic data drop down, you'll see at the bottom we have product FluentCart, and then we have the various different fields in which we can access and include in this particular card design. So again, pretty simple. Do you want to link the entire product so we can make the entire card clickable as opposed to just a button? Again, up to you. From a user's point of view, probably makes sense in certain examples. Then you've got your display. How do you want to display them? Grid or list. But you also notice we've got the little switcher here anyway, so we can let the user switch between the two options. And then what kind of pagination you want to use, numbers, scroll, so on. And then finally, you've got your filter. Now, this allows you to bring in filters into the left-hand side of your design. So if we enable this, you'll see now we get the filters blocked on the left-hand side. So that we can use these filters that are native to FluentCart. So do you want to enable them? Do you want to enable the sort option? So you see sort now pops up there in the top right. If we disable that, that will move away, or it should do. But as we kind of see a lot with Bricks, it doesn't necessarily update inside the editor. If you want live filters, so in other words, it's like Ajax filter. So as you make the changes, the page will update in real time. And you'll see once we select that, it removes the apply filter and the delete option from there. Do you want to apply a wildcard? Product categories, for example. And we can choose a custom name for any of these. Product brands, if we're using brands, and price filters. So you can see all those options are there for us, and we can easily save this page. Go and take a preview of this. There's our hero section. There's our filters. And now you can easily come in and filter. So you can see we set our t-shirts, apply our filter. You can adjust your pricing and so on. So we may say we want menswear, and we want menswear over, let's just say, £12. No products found. Okay, let's drop the price down a little bit. Try again. There we go. So we've got a couple of products there. So the filters are easy to work with, easy to set up. So very basic in what we can do here, but we've got a lot more options available. So let's take a look at creating a single product template and some of the options we've got available to us now. So I just created a basic template. We come into our manage and we come into our template settings, set our conditions. You can add a condition inside here and we'll say this is going to be for the post type. Select our post type and it'll be product and popular content. Let's just choose something from here. There we go, add that one in and hit apply and preview. So now we've got some content available to us when we build this out. Again, let's come down to our options and inside here, let's just start adding different pieces in. So we add our product info, for example, pop that inside our container. And you see that pulls in the basic elements that we need. So we don't have to build all these up. We can easily use the display options on the left-hand side to choose exactly what we do and don't want people to see. So you can choose a product from here if you want to. So we can switch between different types of products. So even though we're using the native function inside Bricks, we can kind of override that here. So that's quite cool to see. So we'll leave that, for example, set to this fleece, this hoodie, I should say. And do you want to just have a buy section? If you want to get rid of that, you can remove it. And that just basically shows it as a kind of product catalog. Enable that again. Show price. Do you want to hide that or show that? Excerpts, stock, title, show gallery. Pretty simple how it all works. So you can customize this exactly how you want. Then your gallery settings, you can choose where you want these. So for example, you may want to put those at the left. It kind of throws it out a little bit, but you kind of get the idea. Let's say it's scrollable. Change over to the right. So there we go. So we have all our different kind of products and so on there. So very easy to do and add that in. But now we can come back over and we can add some more things in. For example, we can add things like the product content in. That'll add that underneath. If you want to add in things like related products, you can add that here as well. Reposition that where we want it. So then you can customize all these options. You can see we've got things like the query type, the product, your categories, the brands, whether you want to show those. So underneath you can see what we've got, the columns, the number of products. So let's just say we only want to show 4 in here. There's our related products. So you can see how easy it is to start to build these up. There are a couple of little quirks that I've noticed, but that might be to do with how I've got things set up, the kind of styles that I'm using and so on. But it's easy to rectify anything. And as you can see, very simple to create all these different options and start creating your own customized pages. So with very minimal effort, you could easily start to create your own custom layouts. And you can add these different elements into any part of the design that you need. Now, on top of those different elements that we have there, we can also customize the various different default pages you need, like the account, checkout, cart, those kinds of things. You see there's our checkout, there's our customer dashboard. All those options are here for us. So we can easily add these in. There's our customer dashboard. So you can see now we've got the dashboard inside here. You can come in, start styling this. You can add this in to make sure it all fits into the design that you're creating. So those options are there to customize how all of this looks and works. Now, obviously, there are some limitations on what you can do in very similar fashion to the limitations you often see in WooCommerce integrations with things like your dashboard, your checkout, and so on. So I would love to see even more fine level granular control here, but we have an awful lot of options now included in this particular update. So it's good to see that we have better integration, because one of the things from my point of view was that I kind of felt like the Bricks integration was just basic at its very best. So it's nice to see they've actually gone back and they've brought this out as a major update to what we can do inside Bricks with FluentCart. So I know one of the key areas that people are going to ask about is the checkout page and what you can do with that. Well, here's the template for the checkout. As you can see, it's set up in a simple 2-column layout. It's nice and clean and simple, but we've got options then over the left-hand side. So our general settings, do you want single or dual column? So if we do a single column, for example, you'll see we get this. Now, obviously, by using the 1 column, you can get creative in how you design things and what you want to put into extra columns and so on. It doesn't have to be a single full width column. You can get creative here. But again, very nice to see we can control these kinds of things. And then we can choose the 2 column, how we want this to actually work. So the form column, which is the left-hand side, we may say we want this to be 75%. And you see that easily updates things. Again, we can replace these column gaps and we can use our variables here. So we put our medium spacing so we can control everything. Your form fields then, you can choose what fields are available and not. So for example, if you don't work with any kind of taxes, you may want to remove the VAT in this example. If you're dealing with digital products, you don't necessarily need shipping methods. You get the idea of what you can do here. It's very simple to customize this. So let's say we get rid of the VAT, we'll delete that. But if you look on the front end, you can see it is gone. Then if you come into your order summary, you've got the same options there. So again, you can control what you see down the right-hand side. So for example, if you don't deal with tax, you can delete that from here. The same thing goes for the shipping tax. You can remove them. So now we don't see those on the right-hand side. So it's good to see those are controllable. Then your layout options, you can see, do you want a sticky summary and what's your empty cart message? So you can see that we get quite a lot of control over what is actually displayed. We can also adjust, obviously, the position of it. For example, you may want to put the agree to terms right down below the submit button. Well, you can control that option as well. So you do get control over the position of the various different elements and so on, but we don't actually have any kind of real differences in design choice. It would be lovely to have a range of predefined kinds of layouts, common layouts, things like what people are used to on Shopify and different things, ones that we know convert well, or at least the ability to be able to customize it in the way that we want to give us even more control over things. But again, like I've said throughout this video, I think it is a good, solid starting point, and it's good to see that we do have a lot more control over what we can add, how we can customize it, where we can add it, and how we can create and build our own more customized, integrated designs using FluentCart in our bricks designs and templates. Now, if you want to learn more about FluentCart and maybe pick up the lifetime deal on Pro or grab yourself a license, all the details will be down below. And at the time of recording this video, there is still a lifetime deal available. I have no idea how long that will last for, or if it's going to ever go away. I have no idea. But if you want to grab it, details are down below. Go and take a look for yourself. It is an affiliate link, and if you want to use it, thank you very much. It does give a percentage back to the channel. If you don't want to, no hard feelings. Hop over to fluentcart.com and grab your license if you want one. As always, all applicable links are in the description. My name is Paul C. This is WPTuts, and until next time, take care.